the name Corpse Paint came about.
For me, it's just like an electric jolt.
The real ugly side of humanity, and their music sounds like it.
I always wanted to be a band that was approachable to people, that was just regular-ass people. Yo, what's up? So before I start this episode, I want to bring up two really good friends of mine that I've met along the way. They've been the backbone and really the biggest supporters of this podcast since day one. Everything visually you see with this podcast has been done by Wither Designs and Benny Bones Art, and it could be your band next. Check them out on social media, get yourself something unique and original, and yeah, let's do this. Yo, what's up? This is John with another episode with Aaren from Molder. I'm super stoked about this one. I've been listening to you guys like within the last I don't know, couple months. I mean, I saw that tour with Exhumed, and I'm like, holy shit! Like this band is freaking nuts. man. I mean, I've known about your band for a little bit longer than that, but I mean, the latest record that you dropped is like freaking crazy, man. The riffs are so catchy, like the vocals are like super gnarly, like holy hell. you
Thank you
know?
very much. I appreciate it. This was definitely our baby. The last album was a lot of fun and it was cool to do, and I'm very proud of it as well. But this one was just a lot different. I feel like we put a lot more into it, and it shows.
Yeah. And I mean like I said, I mean they like the catchy riffs. I mean, like I'm a guitar player myself, and I think one of the most interesting things to me nowadays is like how death metal bands are, I don't know, not writing hooks, but like I mean they're just writing like memorable riffs, you know.
Fuck yeah.
And I think that's quite interesting about like death metal and that kind of stuff nowadays because it's like getting slower. And like with you guys, I mean, you have a good blend between slow and fast. Would you like agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, when it really comes down to it, I just like songs, genre aside. I just like a good written song, like a good composition. And while there's like a lot of fucking awesome stuff out there, there's a lot of stuff out there too that, not that it's bad, I just don't feel like it hits that itch for me. It hits a ton of parameters as far as shit I would look for, but it just doesn't necessarily stick. And I just feel like there's an oversaturation of those albums or whatever you want to like, EPs, demos, blah blah blah, that are out there that I don't know, you listen to it once and you just kind of forget about it. I've always been more keen and fond of the stuff that obviously has hooks, something that sticks out that I can find myself remembering about the album or song or whatever. As far as playing faster goes, I just like a lot of punk. I like a lot of thrash metal.
Okay. Yeah, that
And as
makes a
far
lot of
as
sense.
my death metal influence goes, a lot of it is Chicago oriented stuff like Master and Cyanide, and I don't know. I like a lot of that earlier stuff too. Nothing against like mid to late '90s death metal. It's awesome. It's definitely a part of our sound as well. But I don't know. I just really like that first wave of shit that I guess you could split hairs and say is or isn't death metal. But yeah, I just feel like that's the catchiest shit. That's the stuff that stuck with me the most, and it's what I just find myself writing stuff similar to or like.
And it's kind of funny you say that because, like, reflecting on my musical taste, um, what I gravitate more is a lot of the bands that I talk to, they're like, "Oh, I have punk influences," and like that's really funny to me because I mean, obviously, you're not like a punk band, but I think that type of music shines through like live. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah,
if you have some type of punk influence, like it's based more off of like the, I don't know, like what resonates with you. I mean, sometimes death metal gets weird where it's like, you know, you got like these tech death bands where they're just going crazy, you know? And
yeah,
then like
absolutely.
and then punk is just like based off of just like, you know, in your face like groovy things, you know? But that's awesome that you said
100%. I like it because it just focuses more on like approach and attitude and like inflection on the actual songwriting versus like talent. I suppose, at heart I'm a drummer. I don't really like consider myself a great guitarist. So it's cool to be able to write riffs that I guess are less is more, but also are different and stick out and happen to be catchy or whatever.
yeah. Now, I mean, let's bring up like punk then because
Sure.
like I mean, I've went to like literally only two punk shows. I saw the Casualties and
Okay.
then I saw it was like a local show in Rochester, and I will say there's a big difference between the crowds. Like I mean like literally the one show there was somebody in the crowd that shot like a firecracker at the person on the stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the Casualty shows was just all out mayhem, dude. There was like a wall of death, like just crazy stuff. Um, I mean, do you think that do you think punk shows have a little bit more uh energy compared to like death metal shows, or what's your
Oh yeah,
stance on that?
without question. Like yeah, there's no dispute, at least in my opinion. Um, yeah, there's just a lot, like I said, it's just all attitude. It's all just energy. And that's just the kind of shit that I personally like. I like moshing, I like pitting, I like stage diving, I like having fun at shows. And a lot of metal shows, you just kind of get the two fucking cool for school guys with their arms folded and mean mugging you, and that's cool too. But like, I don't know. I don't want to stand in one spot for fucking 4 hours. It hurts my back. I want to have fun, you know? I want to have a good time. And
Yeah.
punk shows definitely bring that. Like, there's, without a question, um, a lot more energy at those types of shows.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean like I've definitely talked to people within like the death metal scene where just in general, like I mean, you got the mean mugging people, but like, oh man, when they start throwing the hands, it's all over. Like let's put it this way, when I was at the punk show, I didn't see anybody like throwing punches or anything like that. It was more like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it other than it was just like everybody was smiling. Uh, And I'm not like shit talking like the metal scene, but it was just a whole different atmosphere, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Same thing here in Chicago. We have certain shows you go to. Where certain groups of people come out and they'll mosh, they'll have a good time, and it's just one of those rowdy nights. And then you have certain shows that fall under like the more cult category of metal shit, and that's when the leather jackets come out, the mean mug face, the arms folded over, and the no mosh campaign fucking reigns supreme. People
Yeah.
just are weird about it. I understand, but at the same time, it's just like let people have fun. If they're not fucking with you or bothering you, then who cares? But
Yeah.
old
Well, okay.
people can
Well,
be fucking old sometimes, you know? It's just how it goes.
okay. Well, like, what's a perfect Molder show? Like, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, okay, when I was in a band, I mean, there was one thing that I was focused on, and it was just me not forgetting the songs. Like I would
Sure,
have,
yeah.
dude, I would have points where I just like forget a segment and be like, oh man, like I just totally skipped over the chorus or something like that. Like at the end of a show, I mean, what's your end goal?
I mean, first and foremost, I mean, of course, just playing the songs right, getting through them. Um, but I don't stress too hard on it. Like it's live, we're running around, we're having fun. I'm not sitting there stiff, worried about playing every last note extra correct and super pristine. Um,
Yeah,
I'm more worried about just having that energy to feed into the crowd or whatever. Aside from that, like that's really it. I like to be able to just get through our set and not, fuck up so badly that we're talking about it. And then beyond that, I do enjoy watching the crowd like go ape shit. It's a really gratifying feeling. It's fucking super dope. Um, but yeah, those two things, just playing correctly or somewhat correctly,
somewhat. Yeah,
and and then just having that audience understand what we're doing and feeding off of it.
yeah. So I mean, obviously, like your new record has made some strides. Let's put it that way. I mean, it it's pretty big right now. I mean, like in general, at least for me. I mean, the numbers have been going up. Everything has been going up with your band. Um, I guess I'm gonna hit you with something heavy, but like, what's your long time goal with Molder? Like, do you want it? Like, if you ever took the gander on just like dropping the I mean we were let's put it this way, we were both working somewhat a similar schedule. Like
Yeah.
are you totally down to drop everything what you're doing with
Oh yeah.
work and all that to just tour full
If
time?
we could like do touring and whatnot full time to where it's like fiscally reasonable for us, that would be the ultimate goal. Um, we're doing what we can for now, but as far as like doing constant shows and festivals and whatever else, that would be great. It's just the money needs to be right in order to justify doing it and not having a job with benefits and shit like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Like if the opportunity arose that was, the perfect situation, I don't see a reason not to drop everything and go for it. I feel as though we're kind of doing that in a sense with this Exhumed run. We all took a pretty hard chance with our work and shit to agree to do this, and I don't know, we just kind of said yes so we could put the nail in the coffin, and there's no turning back. Once it's announced, it's announced. We got to make it. So
That's
we all
cool,
put
man.
like our jobs and shit on the line for this one. Unfortunately, we were all able to get the time off and it worked out. But, it's just scary. It's just a weird position to be in because we don't know if we're ever going to ask or be asked to do another tour or, even beyond that, if we even want to do another tour. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's totally a gander. I mean, I was just talking to some people from the UK the other day, and it was really funny because they're like, "Oh yeah, you Americans, I feel bad for you." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Oh, we get 4 to 5 weeks off," and I'm like, "Really? Like that's how much you get off?" And like, at least for me, it's like 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. We used
Yeah,
to have yeah, we used to have an
I get
extra
like
week, but
80 paid hours that I can accumulate, 80 unpaid hours throughout the year. So it's like I get decent time and I can make vacation time as well. But they also offer like just mental health leaves and leaves of absence for all types of personal reasons that you can have up to 4 months a year off. So I lucked out with my job situation to where
that's
it
good.
seems like I'll be able to keep that job and then go tour when it's, you know, necessary for us to go do so. But like, yeah, long term, I guess I'd like to do maybe like, I don't know, 2 or 3 more records and then just tour.
Yeah,
Like,
that's cool, man.
I feel like I know my limits and not to like undersell anybody else and whatever, shit on anybody, but there's just a lot of fucking bands out there that are pretty deep into their careers that I wish would just stop putting out new music and just do tours and come play the shit people want to hear. But I
Yeah,
understand, I it's it's a shitty thing to ask for. It's someone's, expression and their art and whatever, and they're entitled to do what they'd like. But as a fan, it's just hard to listen to some of that shit.
yeah. No, I mean totally. I mean it. It's definitely one of those things I've learned, like within the last two 2 years of me doing this. I mean, I was just in a band. I mean, I didn't really know anything about the music industry, right? And then
Mhm.
like, and then getting into this, I've talked to like 130 people around there, and then plus the documentary. I've realized like the hard truths of the music industry. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep,
and the cool thing was like when I saw you guys on that tour with Exhumed, I'm like, no shit, because like Matt is a really cool dude, and I think that you're gonna have a lot of fun with him. He's a freaking encyclopedia about metal. Um, but just in general, like I love seeing bands take the risk because, like, I like bands that are slowly getting to the point of, you know, they're getting their numbers there. Like people are really liking them, and they're gonna do well. Like, let's put it this way: like, your music is very good, and it's like to me, it's like a live band. You know what I mean? Like the
I agree
music
with
is
that. It's
for
definitely where we
live music.
shine.
Yeah, and it's cool to see like you guys on a tour like that because I know you guys are gonna do well. Um,
Yeah, we
but
hope so. It'll be cool. It'll be a fucking cool experience for us for sure. I'm excited to hang out with all the bands. And like you said, Matt is the shit. Super fucking cool guy. And honestly, he's responsible as far as I'm concerned for us even really being on this run. So thank you to him.
yeah, yeah, and I mean like okay, so if we're gonna talk Exhumed, let's talk about your first, introduction to that band. Like what does Exhumed mean to you then?
So weirdly enough, I didn't know Exhumed first. I was familiar with Matt's other band, Decapitator.
Okay.
It's like I don't want to say they were from the Bay Area. I'm not positive, but the sound was like a Bay Area thrash kind of thing. So that came out when the whole earache thrash revival was happening. Um,
Yeah.
I want to say they were a part of maybe Heavy Artillery Records or something like that. But I just picked up one of their CDs at a local record store and just, I don't know, with the internet and that kind of shit, just figured out who was in the band. And from there, that's when I found Exhumed. And then at that very same record store, the first CD of theirs that I picked up was Gore Metal, and it was
Yeah.
fucking awesome. It was just the shit. So from there, my infatuation with the band grew. I got Anatomy is Destiny. Later in life, All Guts No Glory came out. And then I went backwards again and picked up shit like Slaughter Cult and some of the splits that they did previously. So they're just a band that I've enjoyed since I was like, quite honestly, a very little kid.
Yeah.
And it's just super crazy to think that now my band gets to go on tour with them.
Oh yeah, and it's just crazy to know, like, dude, 1998, Gore Metal was released, dude. Like, I mean, it's cool to be able to say like you're playing with a band that's been around for that long. You know what I mean? Like they just dropped that new like album. Uh,
Yeah. I mean,
to the
shit, they've been
Dead.
putting
Like
out
what the
demos
hell?
since like 1990, 1991. Like they've
Yeah.
been around forever, and they've just been killer the whole time. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, and if anybody hasn't checked out the new album, I mean, I listened to like 3 songs. That's it so far. Uh, but holy hell, man! Like everything is just like it's like a punch in the face, man. Adrenaline, adrenaline rush. Like I hope he plays a lot of that. Well, I hope they play a lot of that album on the next tour. Just because it's, I think that album's gonna do very well. You know.
Yeah, it's a great record. There's some really kick-ass songs on there. No Headstone Unturned is super kick-ass. Disgusted, the last track's really, really cool. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they throw in the set list for this tour. Hoping for some oldies as well, some classics, and I'm sure they'll be there. But yeah, it's gonna be a good ass show or series of shows rather.
Yeah. Um. So let's talk about like the Chicago scene. I mean, like Rochester is where I'm from. I'm just wondering, have you ever um been around this area, played any shows or done anything around here?
I've actually never been to New York
Oh,
or
okay.
East Coast or I guess that area of the East Coast. I've been to like Baltimore and Florida and shit, but
Yeah. So when I say New York, not New York City, like near like Niagara Falls.
yeah,
Um, so like there's like a pretty cool scene here. I think that you guys would do really well at a place called the Bug Jar. It's like in Rochester, New York. That's where like Undeath is from.
yeah, I was gonna say the only band that I'm truly honestly familiar with that's from Rochester, at least for sure, is them. Great band, great dudes.
Yeah, I think you guys should check it out. There's a place here, yeah, called the Bug Jar. It's like really funny. There's like kitchen tables and refrigerators and all that kind of stuff like drilled to the ceiling. I don't know how to explain it other than the fact it's one of the most wild venues I've ever been
Oh
at.
yeah.
And there's a lot of like basement shows going on here. So if you ever came through the area, I would definitely recommend it.
Fuck
Um
yeah.
but yeah, give me a little rundown on Chicago then.
So as far as Chicago goes, we got bands like Cryptum, which is some of Mulder. We have bands like Rotted, uh, Cardiac Arrest. We got
Okay.
old bands like Cyanide that still occasionally do some shit. Um, there's quite a lot of stuff out here. Like that's just kind of naming the death metal stuff. There's bands like Idle Throne that play more of like traditional heavy metal, speed, power metal kind of shit. They're excellent. We have bands just from over the border, uh, like Wraith. They're from Northwest Indiana, which is
Oh
pretty
yeah, yeah,
close
yeah.
to
Yeah, the
us.
thrash band, right?
Yeah, they're killer. They're excellent.
Yeah,
Great
I saw
dudes.
them. I saw them a few months ago at some like festival in Ohio. They're real good fast.
Hell yeah. Their one guitarist is actually in Idol Throne as well.
Okay.
So that speed power metal band, he's also in, and he's fucking absolutely insane at guitar. So check that shit out because he really, really shines on it. Um, Aside from that, there's bands like Hate Monger that's out. There's bands like What. Um, there's like we have like a pretty decent hardcore scene here. This band Break the Cycle's doing pretty well. We got like punk stuff like Snuffed. We got like a grindcore thing going on here that's pretty cool. I play in a band called Melting Rot. There's bands like Organ Failure and Shrivel Up that are great. All types of shit. That's kind of what's cool about Chicago is it's very eclectic. There's a lot of different stuff going on. I tend to just kind of check out the more aggressive stuff. I mean, there's a lot of shit beyond that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Now,
but it's almost to a flaw. Like there's not a whole lot of like-minded bands. Like it's you can't really throw together like a all death metal local showcase. I mean, you could, but you'll have like a brutal death metal band and like an old school band and like then you have a tech band and like everything's just different enough to where it's just weird.
that's cool though because I mean, I would say Rochester and Buffalo is kind of the same. I mean, like there's like niche uh like for example, like one band will be singing about like around here like there's this band called Gates of Paradox and they're like how do I explain them? They're like a metal band. Like I don't know what to say other than the fact that they're just very odd and they remind me of like Star Wars and like Pirates of the Caribbean and all that kind of stuff. And then there's like super super like old school grindcore like Anthropic. Do you know who that
Oh,
is?
Anthropic rules. Yeah, the cool
Yeah,
dudes and cool
Anthropic.
band.
They're like the kingpins of like Buffalo around here, man.
Hell yeah.
Uh, I'll tell you a funny story
Rest in
about
peace,
them.
Brian. Fucking
Yes, rest in peace, Brian. Um, Little funny story about Anthropic. Um, so I was just talking to the singer a couple months ago, and he told me that they opened up uh, at a show at the Mohawk Place, and basically there was like a some type of sports event going on at the venue, but like
okay.
what was happening was, you know, they were there, but their set kind of leaked into that event. There was like an older lady holding a salad in the front row of where Anthropic was going to play. And all of a sudden, all hell broke loose, and Anthropic like started playing, and like everybody ran out the room. They were like, "What the hell is this?" But yeah, some people stayed. But that's just a
Fuck
funny
yeah.
story. If you know who Anthropic is, you would find that really funny. um, but yeah, I mean, what do you listen to nowadays? I mean, what catches your interest?
All types of shit. I've been listening to that new Morbific like crazy. It just dropped in full, but
Yeah.
they're definitely worth checking out. And then
Okay.
sticking with the Finnish stuff, there's this crossover band called Foreseen that just dropped a new record, and it is fucking killer. It's super, super good.
Okay.
Spinning those two a bunch, and then just like classic old shit. Um, been listening to a lot of just like Mortician, fucking Dead Infection, heavy shit, gross stuff for when I work out at the gym and shit.
There you go.
Yeah, trying to stay in shape. Fucking, but yeah, shit like that. Pungent Stench, um, Blood, Impetigo. But yeah, that
what
Forbidden,
what
or
is
excuse me,
your gym
Foreseen and
anthem?
Morbific. My gym anthem, I don't really
Yeah,
have
man.
like a particular anthem. I honestly just kind of play different shit every time I'm there. Um,
Okay.
Nothing that I like. I don't have like a playlist I like, resort back to or anything. I'll just listen to full records.
Dude, I was gonna say Mortiferum.
Oh yeah,
Play the
Mortiferium's fucking great.
dude,
Super
play
fucking
that at the
awesome.
gym.
Yeah.
Dude, play that at the gym.
I just got to see them this year. They were fucking so fucking heavy
Where?
live.
Wait. Where?
They played Maryland Deathfest.
Oh, what the hell? You were there?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, I was there too.
Oh fuck yeah.
What? God damn, you were at Maryland Deathfest, huh?
Yeah, been quite a few of them. I'm stoked for it to be returning in 2024. It'll be cool.
Dude, first time goer at Maryland Deathfest for me, and like
Yeah.
I will go every single year now. Like
Oh,
I'm
dude,
I'm
it's fucking
sold
great.
on it.
It's the best. It's I bums me out that Edison Lot's back. It wasn't too terrible this year. Um, it just in previous years it was just kind of a pain to get to, and like the sound kind of carries with the weather. So if it's super windy, it's not necessarily the best mix. But
Yeah,
they did it up this year. It sounded fucking great at every venue. Every band that I got to see was fucking phenomenal. It was really awesome.
yeah. I was gonna say, dude, like I saw Nunslaughter at Edison Lot, and
Fuck yeah.
dude, that set was freaking great. I mean, I've seen them
Dude,
at
they
like
were
small
fucking
venues,
on
but
fire. They were great.
yeah, dude, I don't. I mean, Nunslaughter is like a great band overall, but like seeing them at Maryland Death Fest was like one of the best sets I've ever seen. Um,
Hell yeah. What was your favorite set of the weekend? I know it's kind of a tough question.
oh,
There's a lot of good stuff.
I don't know, man. I mean, because like I was filming a lot. I mean, for the documentary, I like filmed all of Maryland Death Fest.
Hell yeah.
Um, but I mean, I didn't film Mortiferum, and I only caught like 5 songs. But holy shit, dude!
Yep, they
Like,
were fucking excellent.
I don't know what to say other than the fact that like they are one of my favorite bands right now because they're just so low and it just hits the soul, dude. Like
Yep.
I don't know how to explain it. I really don't.
I really enjoyed Cross Spitter. So much in fact that when they came through Chicago, they played with Demolick. And not that I'm not a fan, but like I really honestly just went to go see Cross Spitter. I was like so fucking impressed by their set. It was really
Yeah.
cool shit. Them and Antichrist Siege Machine, they were also on that tour. They were
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
super
yeah.
cool. But
I
other than
think they
that, fucking Autopsy, man, that was so good.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I totally forgot about that set.
That
I
was
was in the
insane.
I
Absolutely
was on
fucking
the
insane.
left side, so like the bass was just like booming in my freaking ear, but it was like perfect.
Fuck yeah.
Um the one thing about Autopsy, dude, you know how like like most metal bands, they always duck the bass player.
Yeah.
Autopsy does not do that. Like,
Yeah, no, that's always nice and fucking present right up front. And like
yeah,
it's just a part of their sound, which is fucking great. I love the bassists that they've had throughout the years. They've always had nice, thick, nasty tone. A
yeah,
fucking one of the best bands ever. Definitely one of my favorites. And I feel like that's another one you can certainly hear the influence of in our music.
yeah. I was gonna say that that was definitely one of the best sets I've seen at Maryland Death Fest too. Well, the only one that I went to. Um, so I think it was the third day, that there was like a torrential like downpour.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
It was like
how did you,
misting like crazy and then it was
dude?
fucking just, yeah, it
Dude,
was
how did you go about that? Did you end up
I
like
just
running back or
no, we were just really high and dealt with it.
you dealt with
Honestly.
it?
Yeah, I mean I was already sweaty as fuck just from pitting it up all night and yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of refreshing by that point, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But yeah,
was
it was
gonna
definitely
say,
raining pretty hard. Fortunately, our hotel and shit was like a nice close walk to the venue. But yeah, it's pretty bad for a little bit.
yeah. We went for like a Airbnb, which was real nice.
Hell yeah.
Um, it was like right around the corner. But I remember that specific day, like, did you take advantage of like the scooters?
Not this year. Like in previous years when we've gone, it was like the only state that us, like my group of friends would have visit that had them at the time. So we were just like scooting it up all over the city, being fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
man.
But like, I don't know, it's just we just started falling off of them and shit and getting hurt over the years. So it just kind of seemed to be something we did less and less and less of. And I honestly just didn't really see too many of them around this year. Feel like
Oh
the city
man,
got rid of most of them, or at least the people were stealing them, throwing them in the harbor and shit, and like throwing them up into the trees. It's pretty
yeah,
ridiculous. But yeah, they're fucking fun.
dude, they're real fun. My friend got hit by a car when he went, uh,
Oh,
but he's okay. But like, I mean, those scooters were like, I don't know how to explain it other than like they saved me because I have like a horrible back, dude,
oh
and
yeah, that walk was killer, dude. But
like
if you know your way around, there's like some little things you can cut through to make the walk a little bit less severe. It alleviates it for sure. But yeah, it is not the funnest walk, and that shuttle system just seemed like it was taking too long. Like it wasn't worth the wait. It just felt like by the time you'd get there on the bus, you could have just walked there.
yeah, yeah. I went for the scooters, and the last thing I want to say about Maryland Deathfest, which was a hilarious story, is traveling through the city on one of those scooters in downpouring rain and trying to dodge the rats. Did you come across any of the rats?
Oh, honestly, not really, but I did see like a fuck ton of cockroaches on my walks home at the end of each night. Just the walk back to the hotel or whatever. It was just they just were everywhere. It was fucking nuts. So yeah, it's just like watching my feet the entire time to make sure I'm not just crushing a bunch of roaches and getting eggs in my shoes or some shit.
Yeah, you wake up and you just like you're sleeping with them.
Yeah, no fucking thanks.
Yeah. Um, that leads me to a funny thing. So, are you guys planning on this is a funny thing about tours. Some people will like crash at like friends' houses or people they meet along the way, and then other people will just sleep in their van. What do you think is the healthiest way and safest
Uh,
way? Because vans get robbed all the time, you know what I
No, I
mean?
was
Like,
gonna say at the end of the day, it really just kind of depends. Like for example, I try and make it a point to offer up like where I live to anyone that I know that's on tour that might need a place to stay or shower or eat or whatever. Where I live is a pretty safe area. I have a bunch of parking in front of my house that's, low key and whatever for vans and trailers. Like it's not a prone to burglary or robbery type of an area. So, like,
yeah,
we have friends that live near venues and shit that we're playing that live in super sketch areas, and then we have friends that live in like similar situations like me. So it's like if we're crashing anywhere, it's definitely going to be at the friends' houses in the nicer areas just to try and avoid that shit. But it's already been agreed upon that like if we end up getting a hotel or we stay at a buddy's house, one of us is sleeping in the van, and I'm fine with doing it every time. I don't give a shit. I just want to make sure everything's on the up and up, nothing gets stolen, and if someone does break in, then they'll find me in there.
yeah, yeah. No, I was gonna say, man, because immediately when I thought about you guys hitting the road, uh, some quick advice that I got from Creeping Death. Um, you guys should put those two. They put two of those trackers. You can buy the tiles for like 10 or $20 or whatever, and you
Sure.
put them in his guitar case, like two separate cases. What happened to them? Do you know what happened to them?
I didn't hear in depth about it, but I did hear that they had some gear taken from them.
Yeah. So what happened to them is there was one guy sleeping in the van, and literally like they were scoped out, right? And then they were scoped out, and then like come like 3 o'clock in the morning, these dudes just jack like literally just picked up the trailer and put it on their car and drove off, sped away. But
Damn.
they put those tiles in their trailer, and
Mm.
they freaking caught them like the next day.
Good for them. That's awesome. I
Yeah.
hope they're able to retrieve everything because, like, fuck, that sucks. But that's sick. You
Yeah,
don't
I
get to
was
hear
like,
that too often. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, man, if I ever get in a band, like I'm gonna have like 10 of those fuckers, man.
Yeah, yeah. Like would
Uh,
not be a bad thing to have at all. That's for sure.
Um, okay,
But
so
fortunately, we'll be in one van, and all the gear will be in the van with us.
oh, okay. I was gonna say, how the hell are they gonna steal the van with you in it?
Yeah, right.
All right, so back on a positive note here.
Yeah.
Let's let's go into this album a little bit more, you know. I guess I'm gonna just wrap it up with this last thing. I mean, what is your pitching point on why people should listen to the latest Mulder record? I mean, like, yeah.
Honestly, that's that's an interesting question because
Yeah, yeah.
I don't fucking know. I just think it's cool death metal. If you're into that kind of shit, if you're into
Yeah,
like
yeah.
fun death metal, then check it out. It's probably for you. Um,
Right.
I know this is like a self-centered, shitty way of looking at it, but like I don't
No,
know.
that's what I want.
I wrote it for me, at the end of the day. So it's just
That's
like if
good. That's
people
good.
like it, that's sick. But if people don't, like ultimately, don't really fucking care. It's super awesome
Yes.
that people are into it, but like, yeah, I don't know. I could take it or leave it. Like it's
That's good.
rad, and I'm grateful for it. And like I said, very, very happy that people are taking to it. But I don't know. It's not like why I do it. So that kind of stuff, it's not that it doesn't appeal to me, but it's just not shit that I guess I think about. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, I don't know. It's a fun record. It sounds like probably a lot of shit you already like. It's nothing new. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I don't think that we're like this new state of the art fucking band or anything. It just sounds like classic old school death metal. So if that's your thing, you'll probably dig it. If that's not your thing, you'll probably hate it. But I don't know.
You're just like you know, we are the innovators of death metal, and nobody's ever heard of this thing. So check it out. That'd have been so funny. But no, I respect that answer, and this was a great podcast. I mean, let's
Yeah,
spend
thank
some
you for
time.
having me for real.